This video is a dedication to the family of Ambrose Monye, whose life was tragically cut short. My name is Charlie Young, and he and I were roommates for quite some time and grew quite close in the short amount of time that we had in medical school. However, Ambrose was more than just a roommate or a friend. He was my little brother. He was always there for me, and aside from medical school issues, like we would talk about other things, and it just was stuff that brothers do. Ambrose was such a character. Like, he always had this smile on his face. I mean, that smile was contagious. Everybody who walked past him, would always smile back the same, or if not more. And he was just such a delight to be around. One of the things that I respected about Ambrose was, aside from his easygoing, light, happy nature, he had this other side to him that was sharp, focused. Like, he knew when to get things done, and he would lock himself in his room until they were finished. And I remember all the guys in the house would always make fun of him, and whenever he would come out of his room, it was almost like a National Geographic Discovery Channel type of thing. And I remember Alex would always narrate his every move all the way to the kitchen. He was always very intelligent. He would always raise his hand in class and answer questions and engage the professors, talk to them after class, go to office hours. He was just that type of, he had the intellect. I'm so thankful for knowing him, this short amount of time. And even though I'm in Arizona doing my rotations now and he was in Chicago, I would often think about all the fun times that we had. I would always contemplate all the vacations that we had, or just going out to eat lunch, eating tacos and going grocery shopping, just the little things. I hope everybody remembers how wonderful of a person he is. He was just very unique, and he had this magnetic sense of charisma that everybody had a chance to enjoy and be a part of.
Thank you so much for preparing me in a positive way to face the worst rotation that I ever had to do while in Chicago so far. While everyone was preparing me for the worst, you only had positive things to say, which made me feel like I could do well. Thank you as well for teaching me to be considerate on the bus, to ask people before I sit right next to them. I thought it was quite interesting to see you do that. I don't do that myself, and I've never seen anyone do it before. The fact that you were asking people permission before sitting right next to them, and thanks to you, I started doing that. Thank you for who you were. Thank you for the positive attitude you had towards life. Thank you for taking everything with a can-do attitude. It really impacted us. We will carry on this positivity. We will try to be more like you in everything that we face. I know that's one of my goals. Thank you so much, Ambrose, for being a part of my life. Thanks.
I went to a few classes with Zahir and saw him on campus. He would pick up Zahir sometimes for basketball and give him a ride to the park where they would play against other semesters, pick up ball. I remember Zahir told me Ambrose wasn't the best driver, and he was afraid for his life a few times when Ambrose was behind the wheel, but he just was the greatest guy, very friendly, very nice, always had a smile on, and it was a pleasure meeting him and knowing him for the brief time that I did.
Yeah, so I started medical school with Ambrose, and so yeah, I had the opportunity to play a lot of basketball with him and eat a lot of tacos with him. Also, there was a time, I think it was our first or second semester, where I went through a stage where all I wanted to eat was tacos for a few days. So no one wanted to go with me every day. The only one that actually went with me every day was Ambrose, and it was little things like that. It would show you what kind of person he was. He was always willing to help, and he was always kind and friendly to everyone. You didn't have to talk to him all the time just to realize that he was always positive and always nice to everyone. And I let him pick me up once or twice because he scared me. He drove me back to my house, but yeah, and that was very refreshing to see him after school, and because he would never show that he was stressed out about school. He was always we would talk about kind of thinking where we're gonna end up or what we'll do in the future, and he was always positive. He wouldn't let the worries over medical school get to him, and so it was always very refreshing talking to him. I mean, if you talk to him once, the first thing that came to your mind is, he's such a nice guy. He was always very nice. Because you say that about people, they're nice people. But with Ambrose, you meant it when you said it. He was a nice person, and he was always nice to me. Now he was always nice to everyone. And I never heard him, be mean about someone or say even something bad about someone. He was always just nice with everyone. So it's just one of those persons you always want to have around. Yeah, and I know he really enjoyed having his family down there, going medical school with him. He got more competitive at basketball when Joseph started playing with us, because Joseph was very good, so that was good. And it was very fun playing with both of them. But to his family, I like him to know that there's a lot of people thinking of them right now and praying for them, because there's a lot of people that we're gonna miss Ambrose.
This is Thomas. This video is from what I remember about Ambrose. I didn't hang around Ambrose too much in school. Matter of fact, I didn't hang around too many people in school. I was so stressed out for the first 2 years, but that's one thing Ambrose wasn't. Every time I saw him, he was always smiling. I just remember finding out he didn't know Spanish, and I think there was only a few of us, and I was stressed, and he was so chill all the time. He'll definitely be missed.
Cuando supe lo que pasó con Ambrose me entristecí mucho. No sé cómo eso le pudo haber pasado a alguien como él. Él era una persona muy simpática, muy alegre, era muy buen amigo. Tuve la oportunidad de conocerlo durante mis primeros 2 años de escuela de medicina mientras estuve en Guadalajara. Y pude compartir muchas historias con él. Pero hay algunas en especial que me gustaría contar. Me acuerdo que fuimos a Tapalpa de vacaciones. En Tapalpa llegamos a hacer canopies y llegamos a los puentes colgantes. Lo primero fueron los puentes colgantes. Todos los que estábamos allí estábamos muy emocionados. Nos pusieron el equipo, subimos a los puentes, todos cruzamos el primer puente. Ambrose se quedó en el primer extremo. Nadie sabía lo que le pasaba, hasta que por fin nos admitió que le tenía terror a la altura. Pero lo animamos y él tomó valentía y lo hizo. Luego de ahí le encantó, hizo todos los puentes colgantes y todos los canopies. Con miedo, pero lo hizo. Eso demuestra lo valiente que era Ambrose. Después de ahí también nos fuimos a correr caballo. Ambrose estaba súper nervioso, pero aún así me complació y me acompañó. Él era un excelente amigo. Cuando le tocó tomar el step, pude ver su determinación. Ambrose era súper inteligente, súper dedicado. Él estuvo encerrado estudiando día y noche hasta que lo logró. Ambrose es un orgullo no solo para nosotros, también para su familia. Es un ejemplo a seguir y una inspiración para todos. Yo sé que ya no está con nosotros, pero yo estoy segura que en cada persona que lo conoció hay un pedacito de él. Ya sea por sus consejos, por sus alegrías, por sus anécdotas, por cualquier cosa, pero él siempre va a estar entre nosotros. A su familia le doy mi más sentido pésame y les digo que siempre lo voy a tener en mis oraciones. A Ambrose siempre lo voy a recordar.
My name's Janelle, and I was in Ambrose's original class, and one of his pretty good friends while we were down in Mexico. It broke down, so we didn't know what was going on. We thought maybe it was a gas issue because I was running low on gasoline. It ended up not being that. They still couldn't get the car to start, but I couldn't just leave my car out in the middle of his parking lot. And so him, Alex, and Charlie ended up pushing my car for, I don't know, probably 1.5 miles back to where I was living. I'm so thankful for those three that they were there to help me in that situation. One of the things that I was really impressed by with Ambrose was his work ethic. Out of anybody in our class, he was one of the people that I really looked up to and respected for his study habits. He had to be thoroughly convinced just to go play football or basketball because he always put his study first. He always knew what his priorities were, and that was something that was really impressive to me. I know that Ambrose always put his friends and family first. I know he cared so much about Helen and Joseph when he was living with Helen at the time, and he was concerned because he kind of wanted to start getting his own space and you know, hanging out with the boys more, but he was really concerned about Helen and how she would take it, and he was always considerate of other people's feelings way above his own, like even to the point that he was not even going to stop living with Helen just because he wanted to hang out with the boys more. Like, he was always really concerned for her. And then even with Joseph, even before Joseph started medical school, Ambrose was already, you know, making sure that he had a place to stay, like convincing all of his other roommates to make space for him, and then making sure that Joseph had a bed and books and belongings and all was ready to go. Like, he was a very caring older brother, very caring sibling, and I'm glad that I knew him. To Ambrose's family, I'm praying for you, and I can't even imagine what you're feeling, but Ambrose was very much loved, and I'm a better person for knowing him.
Hi, my name is Jessica Oberhan, and I was in Ambrose's original class. When I first met Ambrose, he was so quiet, and I really didn't understand why, just because I met his sister first at orientation, and she was just so animated and friendly and outgoing, and she's just like, meet my brother Ambrose, and we're like, all right, and he's just like, hey, like, okay, I mean, I'm excited about you, can you be excited about me too? You know, but everything, I mean, I quickly realized that his silence, or I should say his lack of words, was always purposeful. Like, he never said anything that he felt like he didn't have to say, or he never did anything, I guess, that he never felt like he had to do. But I mean, everything always worked out. He most definitely one of the kindest and generous people I have encountered at this school. The school is hard, the school is frustrating, but he more often than not kept his cool, and I don't know if he knew how funny he was, at least to me. Like, speaking to him, it was two options. Either I was on the floor laughing, or I was just taken aback and in awe of how compassionate and respectful he could be. I feel like I have so many stories, which sounds ridiculous because I'm sure everyone has so many stories, but I think about him and all I can do is laugh. Like, it's like, how dare you not let me be sad about this? I just want to laugh, and it was just funny in the times that you needed him to be, you know, or unexpected moments. It would just be like, wow, I can't believe how hard I'm laughing right now out of these 2 words he just said to me. So I feel like I was just talking to him like he's part of my family, like he's just like a cousin. And I mean, during that semester we had the Thanksgiving dinner, and I had a friend with me who came to town, and he was going to be my +1 to the dinner. But in order to get him in, I heard that you needed UAG IDs, and so I'm thinking, okay, who are people who have IDs that I can that can help me at this? Because he had so many IDs. I don't know why he had so many IDs, but I remember him telling me that he had like several. I kept thinking, like, why? What do you need them for? Anyway, so I asked, so I was like, so hey, are you going to the dinner? And he didn't reply me for a few days, which is weird because I know he read the message. And then when he replied me, it was weird. It was like, oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, what? Are you okay? I'm like, okay, cool, see you there. And it wasn't until the next semester, he had already left to go back to the United States for rotations, but the guys in our class at that time, they were like, did you know that Ambrose thought you were asking him out? I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, like when you asked him about the Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, like, no, I was just asking so I could get his ID. And they were like, that is not what he thought. I was like, oh snap. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad because he actually felt pretty bad, but they did say, they were like he was asking them, what do I say to her? I don't want to hurt her feelings, which is so sweet, unnecessary, but so sweet. And, they kept saying, like, for a while he wouldn't answer, and so I guess somebody, I'm pretty sure it was Antonio, like, took his phone and just replied back that for sure that I saw, and I was like, what are you doing? And I don't know, that it makes me, he was still considerate enough to not want to let me down too hard, even though that's not where I was taking it, it's interesting to me, because he was just so bright, like his light, he just was someone I felt who was just so incorruptible. Not to say that everyone that we encountered here wasn't nice or kind all the time, but for him to encounter those people and to still come out the other side just as kind and just as sweet and just as respectful, I think that's just a testament to how strong his character was. And I feel very lucky to have known him. I feel lucky to have called him a classmate and a friend. And I'm gonna miss him a lot.
Hello, my name is Rosie, and I'm a peer and a fellow student that was in the original class with Ambrose at UAG. We were finishing our medical education together. I'm at a loss for words just with the news of his leaving us from this world so soon, but I want to take a moment to thank his family for bringing him into our lives. He's a great spirit. We all definitely enjoyed having him as a friend during our hard times in Mexico, and just in general trying to go through medical school together as a community. So I just took a moment to write something brief to remember him by and just to share with you guys. A good friend and medical colleague, Ambrose, you will be missed. It saddens us all that we won't finish our journey together on becoming physicians. I will miss your smile, your nonchalant attitude toward the stresses we encountered in medical school, your friendliness towards others, and all the wonderful times we shared in Mexico as we learned to be better students and as we learned to be better humans. I'm sad I didn't get to say goodbye, but I wish your family relief from this grief, and I wish your spirit restful peace.
First time I met Ambrose was during our orientation. I believe I noticed his sister first, and Helen, she was helping Ambrose. You could tell she was like trying to show him the ropes and tell him what to do, and I noticed that she was Nigerian, so I was like, well, I know that she'll be willing to help me or give me information. It was the beginning of our third year at the Academic Services building, like, when are we gonna get our checks? And for whatever reason, you know, it was hard for me, I think, to make headway with the staff at the school, and you know, they were more receptive to Ambrose, like they would speak more with Ambrose. And I remember, like, I wanted to make an appointment, and you know, I perceived it as them giving me the cold shoulder. We would, you know, Ambrose walked up there and they're like, you know, oh, who do you want to talk to? And he had an appointment, and then she was like, yeah, and just like go up there. And I was like, Ambrose, you don't understand, like they think you're Denzel Washington, like that's why they're being nice to you. And then Ambrose like stepped in for me, and you know, he insisted that they meet with me and speak with me. So I was always grateful for that. I don't know, like kind of profound that this person can have the same effect, leave the same impression on so many different people. Not everyone even like knew Ambrose, like how his classmates knew him. Some people just like met him, you know, in a taxi. People just met him in a taxi, or they had him in a rotation. And his character, I can't say that I know too many people who had the character that he had and left such a strong impression with so many people, no matter what the situation. You know, even though Ambrose's life was short, that I believe in how he carried his life made a lasting impact on those around him. And I hope they're comforted by those words, that he was a light in the lives of the people that he encountered. And I know it will be hard, but I hope that they will find peace eventually in his passing. If he was here, I'd like hug him and just be like, I love you, man. Like, you know, that he's really one of the people that I consider like family.
Hello, my name is James Paisel. A few years ago at the airport, when I first saw him, I was surprised to learn that he was from Maryland. That was kind of a shock, one of the first things he told me. And not only was he from Maryland, but he was from PG, Prince George's County. And that's like pretty much my backyard, because my parents lived in Bowie, Maryland at the time, and I attended school in Silver Spring. A lot of students will tell you this. I found him to be a very positive individual, optimistic, ready for the challenges. He had a good, healthy mindset about his study, and that was very attractive. And I knew that was gonna, you know, definitely mean positive things in his education and his you know, success at that school. Just pretty much did for him what other people did for me when I was coming into school, because you know, but he was a profound guy, and from a very profound family. He's gonna be missed by many people, many people. During the time that he spent at the school, and he definitely touched many lives, including myself. And it just hit me when I was listening to some people saying, you know, he's coming from a family of doctors. I knew about Helen, but I didn't know about Joseph, the little brother. And you know, it's rare that you have a black doctor, but now you have a family of black doctors. That's very impressive, and I think it says a lot about the strength of a family and the morals and values that's, you know, passed on to, you know, the children. It's very unfortunate. It's a big loss. He'll be very sorely missed by his friends, and I can't imagine how much even more missed by, you know, his family. It's just completely unimaginable to me. It's scary to think about.
Ambrose was very special to us in the nutrition department. But I guess I was the grandmother figure in his life, because I was treated so special by him. And Priscilla was too.
So I asked him to the dance with me, and he couldn't.
Dear hospitals and staff of Jackson Park Hospital, I would like to start by telling you all how blessed we are. Even in a time like this, to have individuals such as those in our lives. Our level of appreciation and gratitude is beyond measure, but all I can say is that may God continue to bless and manifest His will.
Hi Monye family,
My name's Josh. It's interesting calling Ambrose a role model, but that's truly what he was. I aspired to be him in lots of different ways, and whenever we hang out, from Mexico, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, up into now, always be so relaxed, so chill. That's definitely something that's not going to be replaced ever, and I'm glad that we know that he's inside of us, he's in our hearts. I've known Helen since I guess 2012, when we lived in the same condominium complex with Ambrose, and I just met Joseph here during this time, and it's Ambrose is awesome, okay? And I don't know how it would have gone through Chicago through this past year and a half, not with Ambrose around. In terms of professionalism, super disciplined, always on top of stuff, very easygoing, able to make a light situation out of anything, even if just a smirk or something. And I think that's something that that can't really be taught. His very charming personality, and I saw it. It's difficult for all of us. Can't imagine how it is for the Monye family, for Helen, for Joe, for your guys' mom. But so I think that there are a few expressions that are classic Ambrose. Sometimes he'd say, "Dude," and he'd smile, "Dude," kind of engage you, give you some time to think. Let's see what else. Oh, I got it, right? That's classic Ambrose. I remember when I first saw him in Chicago. I think he picked up some new lingo. He would say, "You're slick. Or you think you're slick." That's what he'd say. You think you're slick. And then I just all the funny Spanish words. He would pronounce them in a way, and smile and smirk, and brighten up everybody's day. Right now it seems unfair, beyond unfair, but we have to thank God that we have this existence, we have time, we're able to enjoy each other's company, and I'm glad that each of us will have these memories.
To Chooks, I hope you got to see from these compilation of videos the overwhelming amount of love and support that all your friends had for you. I think even you would be surprised just the amount of love that people and the time and memories people had of you and the esteem that people held you in. I cannot speak to how much as a brother you influenced me, and the blessing that you were in my life, and having you be my older brother is something that I know is irreplaceable. You will forever live on in my heart. I love you very much. It's still very hard to come to terms with what has happened, but I know that wherever you are looking down and smiling down on us, and I know how much you love our family, and just know that we love you.